Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Global Pulse News, where truth meets tempo and every headline comes with a heartbeat. Now, today's story, it's not just another sit-down. It's a full-on masterclass, a wake-up call wrapped in wisdom, laughter, and a sprinkle of Malawi realness. Brian Banda, the man known for asking the questions others fear, sat down with one of the most composed yet bold minds in the Malawian financial scene, Benedict Bena Nkhoma. The retired banker turned investor, mentor, and ordained minister didn't just talk about his journey, he unpacked what it truly means to build wealth, fall, rise, and still smile through it all. From the outside, it looked like a simple interview. 2 chairs, 1 camera, some applause. But underneath, it was a goldmine of insight. The kind of conversation that makes you grab a notebook and whisper, so that's how these people make it. Brian started light, the usual courtesies, the laughter, the claps. But then came the real juice. How did you make your money? Now, most people would pull out a flashy answer. I hustled hard, or I invested early. But Benedict leaned back, smiled calmly, and said, it's a marathon. That one line changed the tone of the whole interview. It wasn't about luck, it was about discipline. In a country where everyone wants things overnight, here was a man saying, slow down, my friend. Real wealth, he said, doesn't sprint, it endures. You could almost hear the silent yee from the audience, because truly, how many people in Malawi chase fast money and end up running in circles? Benedict made it sound simple, like running a long race, one steady step at a time. Then came the big reveal. His financial journey wasn't just about making profits, it was about keeping them. He broke it down like a sermon. Financial discipline. That's the gospel he preaches. He spoke with that calm, polished Malawian authority, the kind that makes you listen, not because he's loud, but because he means it. He described discipline as more than budgeting. It's a mindset. The patience to save, the courage to say no to flashy distractions, and the humility to learn before you leap. He said, it's not drama, it's discipline. And you could tell, the man has lived it. But you know how it is. Behind every polished story, there's a hustle full of potholes. So, Brian asked, was it always smooth? And Benedict chuckled, that deep, seasoned laugh of a man who's seen both sunshine and storm. He admitted it. He's made mistakes on the stock market and business. Yes, even he has lost money. He said it hasn't been rosy, and you could feel the honesty. No pretending. He reminded viewers that every investor bleeds before they succeed. It's the scars that shape the strategy. His advice? If you lose, learn fast and move. That one line alone hit home for many Malawians watching, because who hasn't lost something chasing a dream? Then came the moment that shook social media. His statement that there's no equation between prayer and making money. Now, in Malawi, that's a bold line to drop on live TV, but Benedict explained it calmly. He said, prayer has its place, but money responds to principles, not miracles. Boom. You could almost feel viewers putting down their teacups. He wasn't mocking faith. No, he was clarifying it. He said, prayer gives you peace, work gives you results. And suddenly the audience nodded because deep down, everyone knows it's true. Faith without hustle, just wishful thinking. After that spiritual, economic mic drop, Benedict shifted gears again. He spoke about association. He said, get the right information, walk with people who think like you, who see beyond today. You see, in Malawi, we say you can't stay in the market and complain about prices if you're not willing to sell. His meaning was clear. Your circle either builds your wealth or breaks it. It's like trying to grow maize in the desert. No matter how much rain you pray for, the soil is wrong. He urged Malawians to choose a company that inspires, not drains, because, as he said, iron sharpens iron, but dust just makes you cough. When Brian asked about his early retirement, Benedict smiled again, that cool, measured smile of someone who's already living his next chapter. He retired early, yes, but not to relax. He retired to redirect. He said, "I come from a background of service, and I knew my next phase was to invest, teach, and impact." And that's exactly what he did. He became a banker, a business mentor, and even a minister, a rare combination in a man who could have just enjoyed his millions quietly. Benedict described retirement not as an ending, but as the start of meaningful work. He called it reinvestment of experience. And honestly, it made sense. How many people retire to rest, but their bank accounts retire too? Then Brian touched a lighter note. How do you manage all this? Business, church, investment? When do you even sleep? And Benedict laughed again, saying he sleeps just 3 to 4 hours a night. Yes, you heard right. 3 to 4 hours. While most of us are buried under our blankets, this man is busy planning his next investment move. He said, "Time is a gift, and I try not to waste it." His routine? Sleep after midnight, up before sunrise. Some call it extreme. He calls it focus. That's when you realize success has a rhythm, and Benedict dances to his own beat. But it wasn't all about money and management. Somewhere between the numbers, he dropped his most powerful philosophy yet. You should leave the world better than you found it. That's when you see the real man behind the banker. His mission, he said, is not just to count coins, but to count impact. He wants to empower communities, change mindsets, and build legacies. His exact words are, "The greatest gift you can give is not wealth or property, but the change you bring to your community." It's that line that separates him from every other rich man stereotype. He wasn't flaunting, he was teaching.
Now, if you thought Benedict was done dropping wisdom, wait for this, because the next part turned the entire conversation into something much deeper. Brian Banda leaned forward, his tone serious yet curious. So what's your guiding principle now that you've seen both sides of life, the struggle and the success? Benedict smiled thoughtfully, eyes calm like a man who's already won the race. He leaned closer to the mic and said, "The opportunity of a lifetime must be used in the lifetime of that opportunity." And just like that, silence. You could almost hear every viewer pause, reflect, maybe even whisper, "Hey, this man is speaking truth." It wasn't just a catchy line, it was life itself explained in one sentence. He went on, "If you're a footballer, a student, a business person, use your window wisely. Don't wait until your moment expires. Life doesn't rewind." That's when it hit. His message wasn't only for the rich or educated, it was for every Malawian hustler who keeps saying, "Next year I'll start." Because in his calm voice, you could sense the urgency of time. And truly, Benedict wasn't preaching religion, he was preaching readiness. Then came his thoughts on the youth, and my friend, he didn't sugarcoat it. He said too many young people waste their 18 to 24 window scrolling, complaining, envying. When you're young, that's your golden opportunity, he said, to learn, to network, to start something, anything. He urged Malawian youth to stop chasing validation on social media and start chasing value in real life. He said, "Likes don't pay rent, my friend, but skills do." And as he spoke, you could almost picture the young viewer nodding, thinking, maybe he's talking about me. Because deep down, he was. His words felt both loving and firm, like an elder brother telling you the truth you need, not the one you want. Brian Banda, visibly moved, asked, "So what about failure? Because many fear starting, they fear losing face." Benedict smiled again, this time almost fatherly. He said, "Failure is not a tombstone, it's a teacher. Every business I failed taught me something my success never could." He mentioned his early ventures, even one of Malawi's first solar companies. He lost about $250,000, but he said it with no bitterness. You see, he added, the problem is not failing, it's refusing to rise after the fall. And at that moment, you could tell this wasn't motivational fluff. This was experience, raw and tested. Then came the part that melted even the toughest hearts, his gratitude and purpose. He said, when my father passed away, I realized that life is short. If I'm going to spend my days working, it must be for something meaningful. That's when he began mentoring, teaching, and empowering. He didn't just build a portfolio, he built people. He helps young couples learn about saving, students learn about investment, and families learn about managing little money with big wisdom. He said, it's never too late to start. Even if you're 40, 50, 60, start small, start slow, but start. That line, start, echoed across the studio. Brian, clearly fascinated, asked with a grin, so do you ever get tired? All this mentoring, church work, business meetings, do you ever just relax? And Benedict laughed and saying, relaxation comes in helping others succeed. That's when I rest. He said even his wife is deeply involved. They both dedicate time to community and church. And then, with a hint of humor, he added, the day is still 24 hours. It's people who misuse it. I just sleep less, not lazy. The audience laughed, but the message hit hard. How many of us waste hours scrolling, gossiping, worrying, when we could be building something? That was his subtle challenge. Stop counting hours, start making hours. Towards the end, Brian asked the question everyone wanted to hear. What's your final message to Malawians watching tonight? Benedict paused. You could feel the gravity of the moment. He looked straight into the camera and said, wealth creation is a journey, not a marathon. You start with what you have, but start with the right mindset. He emphasized association again, that you must surround yourself with like-minded people. He said, don't envy success, study it. Don't chase shortcuts, chase strategy. He concluded with one last gem. It's not about how much money you make, it's about the impact you create. Those words lingered even after the show faded out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was not just an interview. It was a revelation. From Brian Banda's fearless questions to Benedict Nkhoma's calm wisdom, this exclusive turned into a masterclass for every Malawian dreaming of something bigger. His story reminds us that real success doesn't shout. It speaks in consistency, character, and community. That money isn't the goal, it's a byproduct of purpose, and that no matter where you are, you can still start today. So, to everyone watching, remember Benedict's words. The opportunity of a lifetime must be used in the lifetime of that opportunity. If this story moved you, inspired you, or even gave you that little push to rethink your hustle, don't just sit there, do something about it. Subscribe to Global Pulse Newz, the home of truth with flavor. Like, share, and comment your biggest takeaway, because here we don't just bring the news, we bring the lesson behind it. And hey, don't forget to show love to our family of learning and entertainment channels. youtube.com/@sparklingkids, where your children can learn, laugh, and grow in a safe, fun space. And youtube.com/@RaymaFatima, where stories meet smiles and every video brings your family together. We're growing together as one voice, one family, one Malawi. Let's build knowledge, not just noise. Until next time, this is Global Pulse Newz, where headlines come with heartbeats. Stay informed, stay inspired, and remember, discipline today brings freedom tomorrow.